Welcome back to Warrior Moms Podcast. I'm Michelle.
And I'm Amy. And we are two of the Warrior Moms. And we actually have another one of our Warrior Moms with us today. We are very excited to have Jenny Stanley. We've known each other for several years now, haven't we?
Yeah, it's been great.
Yes. So anyway, but we're here to hear Jenny's story about her daughter, Sydney. Sweet little Sydney, firecracker Sydney, right?
Oh my gosh, that's an understatement. There is one.
So let's start there. Just tell us, give us a snapshot. Who is
my gosh,
little
she
Sydney?
was. Okay, she was a redhead, so that starts some of it, right?
That starts, yeah.
Stop
it now. We're good.
That starts the whole subject. You have a frame of reference because she was a redhead.
And you're
Strawberry
speaking
blonde.
with some, ownership, right? With your strawberry blonde hair.
Yeah. We kind of, in fact, Mike used to call it the Battle of the Redheads.
Yeah.
For, when it was head to head. So,
Yeah.
But she was just so full of life. She loved life. I don't think I have a picture of her where she's not smiling. And she just touched so many lives. She just had this personality that, I don't know, people just loved. One example, we had a friend over, a couple of friends, and she was sitting, the big Dora Explorer foam chairs.
Oh, yes.
So she was sitting in it, and the friend was rubbing her foot while he was reading to her. And he had to stop rubbing her foot to turn the page. And he's like, oh my goodness, she made me feel guilty with that look because I had to stop rubbing her foot. And things, we have problems with filters. Sometimes I don't even know if it's a filter. It was more of speaking her mind. That she had no filter with that, I guess I should say.
And give us an age, let us picture
She
where.
was 6.
6, okay.
So one time Mike and I went out for dinner, and Logan, who was, let's see how old he'd been, probably 12, 13 at the time, was kind of watching her, and she wouldn't behave. So instead of bothering us, he called my mom, their grandmother, and said, Sydney is not behaving. And I don't, will you talk to her so you can
make her behave,
reason with her or something if it's possible. So my mother was getting on to her, and Sydney hung up on her.
Oh my gosh.
So Mom called back and said, let me speak to Sydney. So Logan takes the phone in there to Sydney. She said, I'm just going to hang up on her again. So it was like, oh my gosh, okay. And then the worst one was, gosh, I can't even believe this. She was, we kind of went back and forth for a little bit about her birthday party. And there was one little girl in the class that she did not like. She really did not like this little girl. And she didn't want her to come to her birthday party. I said, Sydney, you can't not invite one person to the preschool class. You can't do that. But I don't like her. After a couple of times going back, I'm like, why am I arguing with my 6-year-old child? So I just, whatever. And so of course, I invited the child. So I went outside and I walked back in the house to hear. I told my mama not to invite her.
Oh.
So it was the mom calling to RSVP for Sydney's party.
And she was on the phone.
No. And she was telling the mom, I told my mom not to invite her.
Oh my gosh, what a little stinker.
You can imagine trying to recover from that. I'm like, she's just teasing. Oh my God. What do I do now?
Right.
No, we kept her in line. I mean, obviously she was disciplined.
Yes, of course.
She didn't get away with it, but it was just like, oh my gosh, what are we dealing with again? Like today, what is it? And so.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, and she would boss get the boys in the her preschool class. She would sit in the sandbox. And she would tell them what to get for her. They did
She had it figured out.
She did.
Oh, it's just precious.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, precious to us. Stories are funny.
Precious.
Yeah.
At the time,
Today.
At the time. How are we going to deal with this?
Yeah. How do we get out of it? But,
Yes. Well, tell us, I know this is the hard part, of course, but How did Sydney pass?
She passed away due to heat stroke, and it was in our family car in the driveway. She, I guess I'll just tell the whole story about it.
Yeah.
So it was a Sunday, and we went to church, and we picked her up from Sunday school, and she said, had finished a craft in Sunday school, and she said, can I bring it home? I was like, of course you can bring it home and finish it. So she left it in the car, we had lunch, and then she went next door to play with her friend, which was very common. And because the kids grew up in the neighborhoods kind of like we did, where there was the ice cream truck came through and everybody played outside and had, and you called time to come home for lunch and
Community neighborhood.
There's no telling,
Yeah.
So my oldest son and I decided I was going to run errands, so he wanted to go with me. So we went out and we ran some errands, and I called home and asked Mike, my husband, I said, send Mason, who was our middle child, our youngest son, next door and tell Sydney to come home. She'd been over there long enough, and just not take, we just didn't take advantage of each other. We traded off. So they called me back and said, she's not over there. And I said, okay. So the first instinct is, I'm going to ring her. And she knows.
Mad.
Right?
Yeah.
She knows not to go someplace without telling us or asking us. So I'm like, oh, there she goes again. So, we, and again, Logan and I are still out. We're at Walmart doing our errands. And so they called back and I said, okay, these are the homes she's permitted to go to. I said, she's supposed to call and ask permission, but I'm thinking,
This is Sydney we're talking about.
Sydney, and she obviously didn't, so
Go check.
it out.
Yeah.
Call back and say she said she's not there. And so at this point, the anger, I hate to use that word because of what happened, but turned into panic.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, where is she? What's going on? So I asked Mike to get in the car and ride around, see if he could find her whatever she's doing. And I said, we're on the way home. So I get about halfway home and I received a phone call and I have no idea who the number is. And I cannot make out a word that's coming from the other line or the other end of it. So I called back and said, hey, it's Jenny. Was somebody trying to reach me? And it was a kid across the street's cell phone. And said, yes, Mason was trying to call you. And again, Mason's the middle child. So we got on the phone and he said, we found her and she's blue. I'm like, okay, I'm on my way.
Yeah.
So I get to the house, or Logan and I get to the house, and there's paramedics, fire trucks, everybody's, at the house. And the neighbor across the street stopped me and said, you need to know that she is very blue. And I found her, she's very blue. So I remember walking in the house, the stairs are right in front of the door from the garage, and he's sitting on those stairs. And he said, it's just too late. And then I remember looking to my right, and the paramedics are working on her. And all I remember is screaming, don't stop. Please just don't stop.
Right.
So they did worked, I don't, it's a blur. I don't know if it was an hour or it was 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So they came to us and said, all right, we're going to take her to the hospital. There's nothing else we can do here. We're going to take her to the hospital. Well, we later learned, so they came back in and said, we're sorry, she's gone. And I'm assuming that was to get her out of the house where, we just don't totally lose it on them. So we put her in, I said, so can we see her? And she put her in the ambulance. And I remember Mike's holding one hand and I'm holding another hand. And I look out the back of the ambulance and I see my two boys. And I see other people comforting them. And I remember thinking, and I said to Mike, they need us now more than they have ever needed us in their lives. So we kind of said our goodbyes at that point.
Oh, my heavens.
And had to get, got out of the ambulance and had to be really just kind of suck it up.
Yeah.
Put our feelings, what we were dealing with aside, because the boys were the most important thing at that time. We had to make sure they were okay, make sure they felt safe, and that they understood what happened. There was an accident. So what we think happened was she went next door to play with a friend, and we later found out that the friend was not home. And I think she went back to find this craft in the car and take it in and finish it. Well, she didn't know that I'd taken the craft inside, so it wasn't there. And children's body temperature is not regulated like an adult.
Okay.
So it was August 22nd, 2010 in Augusta, Georgia, which is probably the heat capital. I know it's not, but it seems like
the humidity with it, right?
It's crazy. And it takes their body over, for, it's 2 minutes. It's crazy the amount of time. And I think she did not realize that the craft had already been inside, so I think she just continued to look for it.
Yeah.
And that's what happened, that the heat just overtook her.
Just zapped.
And I think
so sorry.
I think I remember you saying at one time too that, like, she probably got tired. I was like, oh, I'm tired. I might just, because it did happen so fast.
Right. It's just, it's, and they become delirious. They're looking for stuff and they're trying to, and then, so the heat, as it starts taking over, they can't think straight. The rationale is just, they don't find it. And then they become so sleepy and so disoriented that they pass away.
Oh, Jenny, I'm so sorry. That was in 2010, you said.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah. So where are you now in your grief journey when you think about, jumping back into that story? And I think as all of us tell that story, I mean, I know my heart's racing currently. I know you, we each go right almost back to that moment, but where are you? How does it feel to be a little bit further out than maybe some of the moms and warrior moms?
It's just, I decided that Sydney's death could not be the end of her story. She was too spunky. She was just too much of this huge personality that I could not let death be her story and the end of it. So I guess about a year after she passed away, I decided I wanted to do something about it to make sure that another family, or hopefully help, so another family does not go through this living hell.
Yeah.
So I just started looking around for organizations that help prevent childhood injuries. And that could be anywhere from a child drowning, it could be backovers, it could be rollovers, it could be different things. So I found an organization, Kids in Cars, and their focus is childhood injuries and deaths involving cars. Again, it could be the backover, rollover, kids forgotten in cars, whatever. So working with them, and then I also reached out to Safe Kids worldwide, and I started working with them. And I just became this advocate that as much as I could talk about it, as many times as I could talk about it, and every opportunity I still get to talk about it, to try to educate people. I mean, at the time, and still now, the most common way that a child passes away in a car is that they're left. They, it becomes out of the ordinary. Parents are tired, but that's the vast majority of the way kids pass away. But she was different because she got in the car by herself. So I felt like that needed to really be part of the education, that you need to lock your car doors. It doesn't matter if you're live in an apartment complex. It doesn't matter if you don't have children. Lock your cars. Just be very aware of where your child is and what's going on. It just can happen so quickly.
So fast.
It can happen to anybody. So that's what I've done. I decided that I was going to make my best attempt to try to prevent it from happening again. I've worked with legislature trying to get, we got this one passed for Georgia where it's Good Samaritan law. So if you damage a car break a window or whatever, to get a child, pet, elderly person, whatever, out of the car, you cannot be prosecuted.
Oh,
So somebody can't say, "Oh, you damaged my car, you
right.
broke my window."
Oh, that's so good. Yeah.
Then you have to take other measures. You have to call the police. You have to,
Right.
But if they're in immediate danger, you can't be prosecuted.
Wow.
So I just keep working as hard as I can. I'm on TV shows. I'm out there, podcasts, webinars. I just try to tell everybody. And
what did that do for you? When you think about that first year, when you made that decision, I've just got to do something. How, looking back, how do you see that being an advocate for what happened and adding good back into something that was, so terrible for y'all? What did that do for your healing journey?
It helped because, like I said, Sydney's death couldn't be the end of her story. So I just felt like if I could educate people, if I could in any way bring awareness to what can happen and hopefully prevent another death, it is healing, because her death is not in vain. I'm doing something about it. I'm trying to make sure it doesn't happen again. And it is healing because hopefully I've affected a life somewhere. Hopefully someone's learned from it. Hopefully it's prevented the death. I may never know, but that's what I just felt I had to do. I had to make sure her story carried on, especially since it was an odd situation where she got in the car by herself.
Does that, after you speak, is it something where you have to, kind of prep yourself to prepare to talk about, even today, to do that? And then what's your feeling afterwards? Do you have, I think about sometimes talking about it sometimes gives me great energy. And then other times, I got to go immediately home and just sleep.
You got to nap.
Yeah. Where are you in the physicality, I guess, of...
It drains me.
Yeah.
It really drains me because most of the time when I speak, it's on television or it's a webinar. It's not a private one-to-one conversation. So I get myself worked up. Am I going to say the right thing? I need to make sure I include this. I need to make sure I include this part of it. So it's just draining. And a lot of it's self-inflicted.
Anxiety.
Well, and stress.
Yes.
But, I can't not do it.
Yeah. I'm so glad you do.
Yeah, I'm glad that you fight through it. Fight through that anxiety and stress and do it. We were at, I know I've told you this before, but I want to say it again. We had a rental car, and when we were getting out of the car, turned the car off, and it said, "Please check your back seat for children."
See, that's awesome.
I know. That's what they're doing that on all cars now, or just...
Well, okay, that's an interesting subject.
Okay.
Because a law was passed, I think November 2021, maybe? I think 21. And the law was signed by President Biden. And the law was there has to be some type of mechanism in a car to detect a child or something.
Oh, gosh, wouldn't that be good?
So... it's supposed to work basically like a motion detector. So if the car's not running, then it stops and it detects anything. It supposedly, there's some that can detect an infant breathing, just a little, shallow breathing or whatever. And it sends an alert to a text message, or it sounds off an alarm.
Something.
Something to notify the driver or whoever's around that there's someone in the car or something in the car. But unfortunately, that has not moved forward. There are car manufacturers that have it, which is wonderful for the strides they're making, as far as, like a reminder. But frankly, that's going to be kind of like, did you check your seatbelt? I mean, I think it's going to become so, it's still, like I said, a great thing, but I think it's going to become, it's,
Yeah, we see the
norm.
The seatbelt light. But you're right. I mean, until the alarms were put on for us that we have to, put the seatbelt on, and it just keeps going on.
Yeah.
That mattered. That made a difference for people using seatbelts for sure.
Absolutely.
Right. And the problem with it now is that the car manufacturers are self-regulating. So that means they're not necessarily, they may or may not be putting the best technology in. It's, it's their decision. And this is worth, it costs $50
Oh, wow.
to put in a car to have this. And it's frustrating because there has not been a mandate, there's not been a law said it's got to have these mechanisms, it's got to be able to do this, it's got to detect, within so many minutes or something.
So the law needs to be more specific.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And it needs to be enforced. Because it would have saved Sydney's life.
Yeah,
Because it would
absolutely.
have detected her moving around, that the car was not running, and it would set off an alarm or something. So it just needs to happen.
And if nothing, even like you said, these small strides, an option. How many people going to buy a car would choose $50? Yes, add that
Right.
as a feature.
Especially new moms and minivans.
Exactly.
New moms and, it's just.
Right. Yeah.
I was on it. I had a podcast or an interview with somebody one time, and there's the guy, we were kind of having conversations back and forth about it, and he said, why do that? Why? And I said, so it's more important for you to know that your car battery is dying than potentially a child's dying. So you're saying that have that reminder that the light's on is more important of a reminder than a child's in the car or a pet or an elderly person. To me, it just doesn't make sense why it would not already be standard.
A feature for
Right.
sure. Oh, well, thanks for sharing that. When we think about warrior moms and us, like you, like trying to find a way to give purpose to our child's memory in some way and a purpose for you and what you're doing. What are some other things that helped you along the way? So the advocacy obviously was huge for you. What were some of the other things that you tapped into?
Support system. You've got to find, even in the early stages, we have friends that we still keep in touch with. Obviously we go on trips with them once a year that are pure gold. And I don't think we would have made it or I would have made it. They had to be my rock to get through it. And then I was blessed, a couple of years ago, I found warrior moms. And I think it's important if someone can find, or mom can find somewhere a group that has a group of women that have been through it. Because you really can't explain it to someone if they've never gone through it. And I've heard it said that if it's so horrible, words have not been invented. And I think that's true. But it's easy to go into not easy, it's comforting to go into our Warrior Moms meeting and, you can just look at somebody and say, I'm having a hard day. And that's all you need to say because they get it.
Yes.
It's not an explanation. So that was a huge help. I think if moms can find a group similar, if somebody wants to start a group similar, and it doesn't have to be an in-person meeting. It could be somebody, you could have somebody in Washington State and Florida do virtual meetings once a month or something. But I think that's very important to have that support system. And I think it's okay to let people go sometimes. Friends go. It's we discovered that there's some of our friends just couldn't handle it. It was just too emotional for them. And then there was others that, frankly, they didn't know what to say to us, so they avoided us. And, sometimes, there's no confrontation, there's nothing, it just kind of fades away. And that's okay. It's like friends, every life has a season, and sometimes it goes through it, and, but that's not to say you don't have, you
still hurts your feelings.
It does. It really does, but I guess you have to. A friend said to us, I don't know what to say to you. And I'm like, well, I've never done this either, so I don't know what to say to you.
Yeah. And I love that your friend said that. I think that's such good advice for people. Like, just say, I don't know what to say to you. That was so helpful. And your response, I don't either.
We're going to get,
Yeah.
Fake it till you make it. I mean, I don't know. We're just going to have to figure out how to do it. And another friend had children the same age as my 3 kids.
That was my next question.
Yeah. And someone told her, how dare you take your children around Jenny? And it was, I don't know how others feel about it, but I wanted as much normal as possible. Yeah. I didn't want friends to not bring their kids around, that just brings lots of other things going up. They don't have to I don't want somebody to get a babysitter to be able to come to see me.
Right. I want
those friends. My life's never going to be normal again, but I want it as normal as absolutely possible. And read. There's so many books out there, but find something that speaks to you and it gives you some hope and some encouragement. And get out there. Try. It was very easy for me, just like a hermit, almost become a hermit. And I found that the more I went out of the house and the more I did, the better I felt.
Yeah.
So I would encourage.
I think there's so many of us that say that. And it's it seems to be very distinct about our group in particular, that all of us are waking up and choosing to show up, even though a lot of days we just want to stay in bed
and a lot of times when you're done with that, you're like, I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm glad I went.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Is.
Yeah.
Just because you just feel better when you get out of the house.
Sometimes I even feel like that with Warrior Moms nights.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, I just don't want to go.
Yeah. It's almost like I don't want to deal with it.
I don't want to people. I don't want to people.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a people day.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think in there's situations where you have to force yourself to do it. And I do think probably 99% of the time, most of us feel better doing it. It's just taking that first step and actually doing it.
Do you recognize some days, though, that you don't need to force yourself to do it? Like, I need to have a sad day. Do you still have those, Jenny?
Yes, very much.
Okay.
There's days I will just, I don't know how somebody described it. I'm a puddle.
I like it.
I'm just a puddle of crying and leave me alone. I'm a puddle.
Yeah. And I think that's so important for all of us to hear. 2010 in some ways feels forever ago, I'm sure, to you. And then other days, it's your child. It's the missing. It's the, that sadness just doesn't go away. It doesn't get smaller. It changes in some ways, but it doesn't get smaller. And that's, I think it's good for friends and family to remember that.
Yeah. I'm not sure it's even gotten easier. I think it's become my new life.
Yeah.
And I've had to just accept it and just keep moving forward with it. Not moving on, but move forward with the new norm, if you want to call it that.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, and they say we grow these babies in our bellies, and they take a part of us, as they do. And,
Yeah. It's so painful. It's just, there's no other way to say it, but
there's, sometimes I relive it. Sometimes I think, and another thing I was very guilty of is playing the what if game on myself.
Yeah.
What if I didn't
go
to the store?
Go on those errands. Yeah.
That crap out of there. What if I made sure, what if? And the guilt was so overwhelming. I knew logically that I was not responsible for that, but I was her mother, and my job was to protect her, and I didn't do it. And that guilt, I push it away or try to push it away when, it creeps up now, but in the very beginning, it was overwhelming.
Did you have any, I don't want to call them tricks, but any kind of things? How did you stop this what ifs?
I think it was just time. I just had to keep
reminding yourself.
I'd go down that road.
Because up here in your head, it was, you knew it.
Right.
But your heart and your gut
it just
and
ate.
The rest of it. Yeah.
It just ate because, like I said, I was her mom. I didn't protect her.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And that's hard to accept. That's hard to get over.
It's a hard pill to swallow.
It is. It's a huge pill. It's a watermelon.
So I want to go back to, the spunky, those pictures that, the moments you were talking about with Sydney. Take us to one picture or one holiday when you think about, your little redheaded firecracker. Give us a kind of a last snapshot of Sydney.
So my brother is Mr. Macho, is a very kind and sweet man. And he and Sydney had this relationship that I cannot explain. I cannot even begin to describe, but it was so special. So for Christmas, she received a nail polish kit. So he sat there while she painted his toes.
Oh my God.
Painted his nails with the brightest, pinkest purple it ever was. And it was just great to watch them with their relationship and to watch,
him do everything she told him to
absolutely. And with a huge smile on his face, and he loved every minute of it.
It's precious. Well, we so appreciate you being here and sharing your story and letting us in, getting to hear about Sydney and the importance of your work and for all of us, just good reminders.
Yes.
I mean, just even the simple lock your cars.
Yeah, lock your cars in the driveway. 100%.
You don't think about it.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
And you just don't. There's so much you don't think of. Even so, if you don't have a child and you're in an apartment complex, all the trees are taken for hide and seek.
Mm-hmm.
Car is very attractive for a child to get in to hide.
Yes. Gosh, really, that is so true.
Yeah, and even not. I mean, this is off the topic a little bit, but I tell people take your shoe off if you have a child in a car and put it in the back seat to try to help prevent child being left, because you may leave without your purse, you may get out of the car without your phone, but you are not going to walk out anywhere without a shoe.
Yeah.
So put a shoe in the back seat, and
if you're nervous about, if that's something you're nervous about, yes,
just do it. Especially even new moms that
You're exhausted.
they're so tired. Yes,
and your routine's completely different. Put a shoe back there, because I promise you're not going to walk into a building. Especially in Atlanta with this heat.
Yes.
Your foot's burnt,
or the dirty ground.
Oh my gosh. Well, any final thoughts for other moms, or you gave us some good pieces of advice.
So good
yeah.
Just
be kind to yourself. Nobody can tell you how long your grief, your grief's never going to go away.
Mm-hmm.
So don't ever let somebody say that you should be at a certain point, X number of days after, X years after. Take care of yourself and do what you need to do to protect yourself and to help yourself. Don't listen to anybody else.
Love it.
I love it, Jenny. I just want to thank you so much. I love hearing Sydney stories. I mean, they always make me laugh. They always make me laugh. I wish I had gotten to meet her. But I know she's causing havoc up there for sure. She's putting all sorts of our boys in check.
Putting them to work. Yeah.
I am confident she's putting them in check. But I do we appreciate you sharing your story and talking to all the moms out there that, are walking the same walk we are. But and hope they find a community
to talk about it.
Yeah, we all hope.
We all hope.
We all hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we want to thank all of you out there for just taking the time to listen to us. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.